I'm 𝐿𝐼𝐚𝐧𝐭 and I'm here to win Europe's Strongest Man 2024.
𝐼𝐚𝐧𝐭 coming to win Europe's Strongest Man.
𝐷𝐴𝐚𝐺𝐵𝐿𝐼𝐻 and I came to compete at Europe's Strongest Man.
𝐸𝐴𝐚𝐧𝐭 I am here to win Europe's Strongest Man.
I'm 𝐵𝐴𝐚 and I'm here to come 7th at Europe's Strongest Man. My name is 𝐵𝐴𝐚 and I'm here to become Europe's Strongest Man.
Pa, you're absolute pain.
I'm 𝐷𝐴𝐚𝐧𝐭. I'm the reigning Italy's Strongest Man, and I'm coming to win Europe's Strongest Man.
Shane Flowers, and I'm here in Leeds for Europe's Strongest Man 2024.
Shane, you've been very helpful. You even lent me a lot of advice in terms of what it's like to compete at Giants Live, but unfortunately I'm going to use that knowledge against you tomorrow.
We old friends out competition, but while we're competing there is no friends.
Pavlo, you know this already, I've told you, but you're getting it tomorrow. Everyone's getting it, but you especially.
Europe's Strongest Man is probably the toughest one-day show on the planet.
Second biggest title that you can attain.
Well, it's the next best thing after World's Strongest Man.
So it's a big show. It's a very big show.
Everyone wants to win.
I must to be go top 3.
I have the opportunity to qualify for World's Strongest Man, so there's going to be a lot of pressure on each of the athletes to do their very best.
For me, it's very important.
Based on the event right now, it's pretty open, but I have a strong feeling that Luke might take it this year.
I think this Europe's Strongest Man is one of the few contests where you really can't tell where it will go.
Here we don't have any not strongman, you know.
I don't think there's really one favorite. If I was a betting man, I would not know who to bet on.
I definitely think there'll be a Ukrainian on the podium. I think Luke is in a good place. Shane Flowers, I think, has got a really good chance. You can never ever rule him out, even though he's the tiredest man alive. He's always complaining he's tired. I don't know.
3 Europe's Strongest Man winners, all won at once.
Winning any of these titles once is a fantastic achievement, but if one of these guys wins it twice, it really
Cements the fact that the first time wasn't a fluke, if that makes sense.
If I win twice Europe's Strongest Man, it's mean for me I'm 2-time Europe's Strongest Man.
𝐵𝐴𝐚 𝐾𝐤, he is Europe's Strongest Man, so he's got it, all to lose, basically.
All guys who is here, they all deserved to take title.
I don't know any sportsman who want to be second.
When I compete with 𝐿𝐼𝐚𝐧𝐭, that's when I harness that energy. That's when I see 𝐿𝐼𝐚𝐧𝐭 just getting pumped up, and that fires me up. And that's what, for me, that's what it is. When we can fire each other up, when we have that love, we have that bond. That's when it gets really good.
Again, you need to push everything: powers, speed, endurance, and mostly mentality.
We have that support for each other, but we also want that win.
Luke, I'm your father.
Pavlo, you're very sexy.
Paolo, I think you're taller, but I'm higher.
Alexei, I want to see 2 Ukrainian flags in podium, but mine gonna be the top.
Athletes, 25 minutes until the walkout. Thank you.
Look, it's my very, very big friend. It's best my Scottish friend.
Alexei, you are my brother from Ukraine. I love you with all my heart. Best of luck for tomorrow.
I a little bit cry.
Some athletes, they're a bit weak mentally.
Paolo,
Be careful.
I can sense that they feel me as a threat.
I'd really love to get in front of Gavin tomorrow. I really want to smash Gavin.
Yo! See you in competition.
Event 1 starting. I need everybody out now, please. Thank you.
So the nickel stones are horrible. I think they're 138 and 114 kilos.
The nickel stones is probably going to be the newest event for me. Even in my 12 years of competing, I've never done that event, especially for a max distance.
If they think it's about power, they think it's about top-end strength, they're going to be sadly mistaken. You sort of think of strength in the grip as always being a mature strength, a late blossoming strength.
One's heavier than the other, so it's not going to be a glamorous catwalk. It's going to be very ugly.
I do not like playing with stones that have rings attached to them.
It's a good raw event. It's such a basic test of strength, carrying 2 massive stones.
Make no mistake about it, it's a quarter of a ton. For the titans that we see here at Giants Live, the weight is not the significant thing. It's just who is the brute, who can take the pain, who is truly tougher and stronger than anybody else. and that's normally the winner.
This hurts. I mean, you just gotta ignore the pain.
When you put them down, a lot of pain in your thumbs.
There's also a bit of technique going into it.
Yeah, on the heavy stone, you have to keep it very close and let that stone move with your leg, and you just take a bigger step with the lighter stone.
But once you get grip of the stones, pain is the only thing you can feel.
Yeah, and it's one of those events where you know at the other side you're going to come out slightly injured. It's like, I don't know, I hate it.
Some people might be a little bit tactical with the nickel stones and want to save their hands because, I mean, it is brutal, that event.
Right now I have trained from end of January till right now for this event.
Always hear people, it's really hard to train for. It's really sore, it's really painful, it's really they're different every time. Well, yeah, that's the point.
I think I can give very good result, maybe try to beat even record.
When we've used them before, and the crowd got mental for the nickel stones. And there's a couple of these guys really think they can push the world record.
They have thin metal rings, so the only real way to do that is to hook grip it.
Like this, light grip. For me, it's good event.
I'm looking forward to giving it a go, and I'm also looking forward to it being over as well.
Pomp and ceremony doesn't matter a jot. When you get out here, the light goes on, your name gets called, and you got to deliver. Who has it here? Who knows? Who knows? Someone who really wants it.
Number 42. Trying to keep it nice and steady, and you can see the technique there. He's keeping that heavier stone tight against the leg, and the smaller stone a little lower, and it's really working for him, Bill.
Neil, he looks so comfortable. He's just got to keep moving, nice and steady, really strong.
This guy, really cerebral strongman, and he's paused for a moment to get his balance there. Mag looking at that line, and he crosses it. And this is fantastic from 42. Ondra is really nailing this, just keeping it under control. And that's only the first drop, 10 seconds, Bill, and he can go again.
And it looks to me about 8 meters from the world record. If he's determined right here and right now, he can do this. This is his opportunity to be the best. Great effort.
Ondra 42 of the Czech Republic said he felt he could do well here, and he definitely did.
Dude is strong, 22 years old, absolute bull from the Czech Republic. When anyone, never mind someone with limited experience of shows of this magnitude and only 22 years old, walks out under the spotlight and backs up every single thing he just said.
Training on the handles with just plates is completely different than the stones themselves. They react differently, but still managed to get them under control and win the event.
Luke Stoltman, 20 meters. That was impressive. 𝐦𝐨𝐬 dropped back a bit, so did 𝐦𝐨𝐾. Two of the other big favorites. That was a slight surprise.
I was hoping that after the first event, all the stress would fall off, as it usually does in comp. But at this point, it just doubled because I'm leading the competition.
Catwalk's such a great event, it's very visual.
Another event that's sort of steeped in tradition.
So even though these guys are big, they've got this huge car around them.
I think it's a really cool looking event rather than just a yoke frame.
Massive guy stood in a car.
Makes it a little bit more exciting, maybe a little bit more relatable.
It's a very heavy car, it's just short of 470 kilos.
It's about pacing yourself, it's not like a super yoke.
You've got to lift it a lot higher because if one of those tyres catches the floor, it drags it off your back.
If you're doing too much rocking, the wheels will touch off the ground.
Our car walk has got like a safety bar inside it, so it comes over the shoulders, so the weight's bearing down forward on them, not just on the back like a squat bar. So it's a lot more difficult.
Always tight. Guys can finish it in 10 seconds if they get a great run. Need incredibly strong legs though.
It should be a good event for me. but it's also a good event for 𝐬𝐚𝐧𝐭.
Out of the 5 events at Europe's, that will be the damage limitation event.
Most important in this event, I don't make some stupid mistakes, don't drop down, just finish and try to finish as fast as possible.
Let's just say, I wouldn't want to get in there, stand underneath that rack and put 450 kilos on my back. Not at all.
First time doing a car walk rather than just a yoke.
I always like this car walk, super yoke. It's moving events I like.
Accelerate throughout the walk instead of just one speed the whole time. I want to have my fastest top speed at the end.
There's the whistle and we are on the way.
Go! 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 Please, step! Go! 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 Keep going!
But it's powered over the line. I've just been told by Dave Moore that he is first place for the Highland Oak.
Luke Stoltman, it was not a backward step in the guy. And you could see in the car walk, he really started to believe the fairy story.
I thought Luke Stoltman has somewhat lost his mobility, being so chunky as he is now. He must have the world's chunkiest legs, but they still moved.
Luke Stoltman with first place.
I just try and do one event at a time. It was nice to get first place there. Yeah, by no means is it done.
Yoke is historically a very good event for me. When I was paired next to 𝐬𝐚𝐧𝐭, who was a notorious great yoker, I knew that I was in for one.
Although I'm sweating and stuff just now, need to get the body, the muscles all kind of warmed up because we're using different muscle groups. So yeah, I'm gonna get warmed up. See the deadlifts.
Oh, come on, Toa! Very come on! And I like deadlifts, I like deadlift ladder, I like deadlift cars, I like deadlift stones, I like everything to deadlift, you know?
If there's one deadlift event I hate, it's deadlift ladder.
So on the deadlift ladders, there's 2 ways to go about it. You can be the hare or you can be the tortoise.
He's not always the most powerful guy that wins, because if you can't do the last one, it's all about how fast you do the fourth one.
I trained for this. I trained to make mixed grip.
I'm going to be probably mixed gripping each of the first 4 bars and then going for a ride on the 5th bar.
5 barbells, and that last one is a great max deadlift, even for top strongmen.
Your hips and your back and everything's going to be slightly taxed from the previous events, so a bit more calculated, smooth, get through all of the bars, and it should score decent points.
If I will finish at top 4, top 3, it will be very, very successful for me.
2 years ago I won this event.
I'm gonna do a PB in like pulling the 4th bar strapless. How it moves, we'll see if I go for the 5th one.
Rauno, are you ready to lose?
Rauno will definitely be up there with. It might not be. He'll lift all the way. He might not necessarily be the quickest.
This weight is nothing, but you need to be very fast to begin.
I don't know if I will be fastest one, but I know I can do all.
Here we go. Milton. Straight on the first one, Painless gets his way forward and into that second lift. Miller doing what you said. Painless goes for the straps in this third, but Milton doesn't need that. He steps through it really cleanly. Painless straps in, completes the lift, and he moves to the last bar. 380 kilograms for both men.
For sure, anyone's going to get this one. Supreme pumpers, though. Beautiful lifting. And the master at that.
Rauno Heinle, he performed all of them with straps on, didn't muck around, and did them all in a good time. And a number of them did all of them. That was impressive.
𝐸𝐚𝐧𝐭, he looked out of it. And yet he rose like a phoenix in the deadlift ladder and looked supremely strong.
Yeah, 𝐸𝐴, sound performance by him.
Paulo Dwyer was very clear about what he could do. He was diligent, he was calm, he showed experience, and he finished where many men fell.
Paulo Dwyer, of course, is a good deadlifter, and he performed this time.
I was the last pairing with Luke Stoltman, and I knew that a fast 4 would be really good.
To be fair to Paul, we often have invited him late, so you shouldn't be judged on a late invite. You know, you're not prepared for it necessarily. But tonight he was prepared and he did really well, Paul.
You know what, my plan was to go mixed grip for the first 4 and maybe go YOLO for the last one, but I was really struggling on that one. I tried to hitch it, then I tried to go overarm, then went back to the mix, and I was able to squeeze it out, but finishing the last one, I felt the pop, but I'm still hanging on, so we'll see.
You want to see it? Yeah.
I've messed up the brachialis before.
So actually he had a bit of pain in his bicep, so he wasn't sure if it was either a tear or any problems with if he can compete. I said, well, we need to have a feel because Alice stones are coming up, so we need to be certain that it's not a problem. From the testing, it didn't show that there's anything wrong. Could be like a small muscle tear. Well, those guys are giving their best out there. So on the warm-up with Alice stone, we'll find out. It doesn't seem anything like problematic, so we'll figure it out.
You've got this. Your hips are down. Your head's up, your shoulders are back. You're driving your feet through the floor. You're using all your quads, glutes, and low back. Your next rep's gonna be phenomenal. You're just getting started. You're halfway through, you're only at 5. You know you can do 10.
Viking press.
Heavy and hard. That looks so impressive, that piece of kit.
We've got 3 massive logs above the head of each guy to be pressed as many times as possible in 60 seconds.
I'm an overhead specialist. I like all pressing. I don't discriminate.
For me, it's normal, you know. I hate it dumping, and big kick press for me, it's normal.
I'm not known to be a big presser, but I think I'm going to shock a few people tomorrow on this.
Like any type of overhead for me is great. I love a bit of Viking press, so I'm looking forward to it. 150 kilos in the hands.
I think I can be in top 3 in this event, easy.
It's not always the strongest shoulders for the max reps. You can use a lot more legs in this, a lot of leg drive, getting your hips underneath it, a lot of speed.
Trey got the world record on this at the Royal Albert Hall.
Trey Mitchell put up a phenomenal performance with 18 reps.
And I think potentially, well, I don't know, it's 4th event, so maybe not.
4th event, yeah, slightly fatigued, but we'll all be in the same boat, so.
We won't see the record broken, but we'll see some double digits definitely.
They can't lock their legs out after their arms are locked out, because that's called double dipping. They can't do that. So they can't jump under it, lock their arms out, then stand up.
Looking at that smooth, fast lifts there from Stoltman, ripping them out. Super fast, Bill.
Great pace, a lot of leg drive, plenty of shoulders and triceps. Really an impressive presser.
So many of these guys so even on the points at the top of the table. These lifts count so much. And a big effort required at the end of this. There are the Highland Oaks, so close. And Ondra still rocking. An unbelievable effort from Ondra. Couldn't lock it out there. But young Mr. Foytu is a weapon on the press.
What a great race. Beautiful stuff.
There was 3 or 4 guys that everyone felt would excel, but sat right behind them. A cast of hungry newcomers.
Got 13 reps, shy of 14 reps would have been a solid 2nd place, but tied with Luke Stoltman, who's a great presser.
Leading the charge, head to head in the heat with the Highland Oak was Foytu.
I managed to secure 16 reps, not really knowing, because in my head I was around 12, but I guess I miscounted.
The young phenom from the Czech Republic comes out and does something that leaves everybody just in disbelief. How good can that kid get?
Today everybody kept calling me the future, and I was like trying not to get that to me because it's more of a curse rather than a blessing.
As we approach the final event, the scores come up on the big screen.
Very close points, 2 or 3 points between probably the first 5, I think. Without
Green team here, you know. We pretty much hit the clocks always at the same time.
4 events, we're headed into the Castle Stones. It's a tight race. Before this overhead press, there were about 1.5 points spreading 1st through 4th place. An amazing event. Castle Stones next. I'm having a ball.
I would say there was at least 4 guys in the running.
But cometh the hour, cometh the man. Well, who knows where we'll be after Stones?
I think it could all come down to the Stones, which would be a really cool, exciting finish.
They were all within a couple of points of each other.
It was to the wire. Coming into the last event, the top 5 could have won it. I think there was 3 points in the top 5, which is nothing really with the Stones. Anything could happen in that event.
Again, I became more nervous because I felt ready, I wanted to go.
You're gonna need 20 seconds or less to really be competitive.
So I really trained Stones very hard because I want to have some redemption.
Maybe I'm not the fastest one because I'm getting older, and when you get older, you get slower.
Eva's he's the funniest guy because he literally like yawning and then just turns it on like a switch.
𝐼𝐚𝐧𝐭, probably the best of the 4. In 4th, he's great at stones.
And Luke is very consistent.
Kind of builds up in a crescendo and it gets up to that top point on the Atlas stones, the last event. It just all goes and it's just leave it all out there. That energy is just electrified.
He and Alex are always really close.
My stones are unreal at the moment. I'm looking forward to getting out to Myrtle Beach, getting that stone off, putting myself in the final. That's the plan.
When you're doing a 100 to 180 stones, mistakes can happen because people rush them and go in too fast, too quickly.
Tom Stoltman is obviously a very good stone presser, but he didn't show up to Europe's Strongest Man because he's afraid.
When the stones were perfectly round, we had rings that they sat on, and to be honest with you, they were great because we needed them to stop them rolling away, but they really annoyed the guys. Whereas these stones have been made with a nice flat spot on the bottom, so they should stand perfectly.
5 easy ones, 5 easy ones, come on.
Luke and Ivars went out with them being in sort of a tie.
You know, if Luke does a good run, it's all pressure on Alexei. Alexei's had good and bad results in the past.
There we go, faster, down, down! Straight down, straight down, straight down! Straight down, straight down, straight down! That was right. I don't think he won that. Did he? Did he get his hands off though? Yeah. I think they both lifted off at the same time.
The whole Atlas Stone drama with Evers and Luke.
Ivers got it up first, but couldn't get his hands off in time. And Luke he did the 3-pointer from downtown and got it in.
Look who is that! Whoa! Look! Woo!
I went down, turned around and looked at me like, and I looked at him like, I have no idea. I cannot tell.
Let me be me! I need money. I help house.
It was like, right, we really don't know who won that. We're not even going to go to stopwatches because it's so close. So we go to frames, and we do it at World's Strongest Man, we do it at Giants.
And we checked. I went over to the director and said, "Hey, can I get a look?" Checked again. Darren came over and joined, then Maggie and everybody. There's no other way to do it.
Now watch his finger. Go back one frame. Play it. One frame at a time.
One-handed off, both hands off.
No. It's not working. Go back another one. Go back one frame. I think it's one frame, it's going as slow as it can. Stop. Yeah. His fingers are still there. So stop. The fingers are still stuck. Yeah. One more frame.
For the first time ever, literally got to one frame and they both took the hand off at the same time. And we had to watch it about 10 times because we didn't believe it, because usually you find out one of them has just pipped the other one.
The thing to do was a dead heat.
We gave the guys a draw, which they were happy about. One of them had to come second if you split the points, but generally was an exact draw, which is the first time ever I think I've known that.
I think that was the right decision. It helped Luke though, because he was ahead of Ivers. That dead heat meant Ivers couldn't leapfrog Luke.
And it's a dead heat. Dead heat. Draw. Here we go to finish the Castle Stones.
Let's go on, yeah!
We're on the way. Both fire on the course. A huge press from 42. And he hits the second one solidly as well. 42 is up to the third.
Come on, yeah!
It's the former Europe's strongest man, and this is super tight, super
Come
tight.
on!
Strong, riddle, inside. Oh!
Sadly, the bicep that was been tearing for some time for Novikov came off, and 42's just not quite there yet.
So when I bent over for the fifth one, Aleksei injured himself, and at that point my head just didn't let me pick up the stone.
Emotionally in a lot of different ways, you know, with Novikov hurting himself at the end, which was kind of sad when he was in the running for winning it.
Such a shame for Novikov, like the whole bicep situation, but then still to make the podium is incredible. He came back from nowhere really.
He went into that as first place, top of the pile, one hand on the trophy, and a normal Novikov would have finished that off like a Terminator.
He just wanted a sling and that was it.
Commiserations to Novikov with I don't know how bad the injury is, but hopefully he rests up because he's my friend in the sport and I absolutely love him.
This guy's made from, titanium because he went through it, third place. He needs to see 𝐬𝐶 in Ukraine and what would be best for his recovery.
Against Andrei Foitu, who did well to get 4 stones up after all the effort he'd done earlier in the night, but he's only 22. Stones take a while, technique.
With inexperience, you don't really know what he is. The first one he did he cleaned it onto Alexi's one, and again, that's just using power and using kind of strength you don't need to. Although it's 100k, by the time you get to 180, you're burst,
So at the end, I managed to finish 4th at my first Europe's Strongest Man.
40 went from 2nd to 4th, having led Europe's Strongest Man at one point.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Heartbreaking at the same time because I was 2 points off the podium.
He's going to be very dangerous. He's clearly an intelligent man, level-headed, who has just buckets of talent.
What a great guy. He's lovely and he's so young. He come through OSG. OSG's the route.
Nicholas Camby, absolutely one of those guys.
What an Italian stallion he is.
I PR'd in pretty much everything. On every stone load, my forearm was screaming, so I just wanted to put in a decent performance, and then after the 160 kilos, it was really screaming, so I called it there.
Nicholas Camby's dream was to go to World's Strongest Man. He's been World's Strongest Man at a lighter weight, but obviously it's the granddaddy of them all. His performance tonight was so impressive. I know he's going to World's Strongest Man. I can't officially say it to him yet, but I look forward to the moment I can.
That was probably one of the most thrilling ends to a show that I've seen in a long time.
It was almost a perfect storm of circumstances that led to something incredibly dramatic on the night itself.
Just like it always is, Europe's Strongest Man never sort of fails to deliver.
Luke Stoltman finished 1st. Congrats to him. I think this is the second time he's won Europe's Strongest Man, so congratulations. Ivars taking 2nd was also impressive, and as we said, Aleksei taking 3rd. I think they're all happy.
So the men in 3rd and 4th leapfrogged the men in 1st and 2nd on the final event, the shootout of the stones.
Luke Stoltman, the champion, which is fantastic, 2nd time.
And showed why everyone in the Leeds First Direct Arena loved the fact that that man walked away as champion.
He's the star he always was meant to be. He was always a star, just a star who finished in 6th, 7th place often. You just didn't get to know what a star he is.
Since Luke's had his wee one and changed coach and stuff, he's got a new motivation and stuff, and I think social media is a very kind of bad for the mental health and bad, you know, people judging you and stuff and that. But you know, just stay away from that, and that's what he did. And for the last, what, 8, 10, 12 weeks, he's put the work in and paid off 2 times Europe's strongest man. Not too bad.
Luke, I love you, mate. You probably don't even know this, but you're one of the reasons that I got into strongman in the first place.
Looky. I know how you feel right now with baby. It's very tiring. You want to sleep.
You're an incredible athlete, Luke. But more than that, you're an incredible bloke.
And you see, you have grey hair here. You really need to think about retiring.
Even in the most unfortunate circumstances for 𝐬𝐚𝐧𝐭, they're friends. And 𝐬𝐬𝐴's such a tough guy. Not for a single second was he not going to come out to the podium and congratulate him. And certainly I'm sure we all wish him the best, getting fit and healthy again. But Luke 𝐷𝐸𝐼𝐴, congratulations. 2 times Europe's strongest man. That must feel real good. Luke deserved to win, did win, and won despite the fact that many people may have thought that his best days were over, that his best days were behind him. Not at all. This was one of his best days, if not his best day.
English is my third language. Words are difficult. Anything over 4 letters, nah. We're going to need a minute.
My predictions were Luke, Novikov, 𝐬𝐨𝐽𝐵, but I didn't have 𝐸𝐵 as 4th. But there's still 2 events to go, so could be in for the money.
Do you know how to spell CrossFit? C-U...
I was really close with my predictions. I had Luke, Novikov, Shane, 𝐬𝐨𝐽𝐵. So I was close.
Do I have to say this, yeah?
Yeah, you have to do that.
Wow, Darren and Colin are so great. I'm so happy they're here and grateful. And what else is it? And they're amazing people. And what else?
You couldn't imagine life without it.
I couldn't imagine my life without double dipping or something. Can we double dip tomorrow?
No double dipping.